السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أبدأ حقيقة التعريف بنفسي. أنا حسب عبد الله محمد، بروفيسور حسب عبد الله محمد. نحن في مقام علمي لابد من التعريف بالدرجة العلمية. أستاذ في جامعة السودان علوم التكنولوجيا، لكن الآن أنا أستاذ زائر في جامعة اسطنبول التقنية في تركيا. حقيقة هذا التسجيل بخصوص الاهتمام باللغة الإنجليزية، وأنا حقيقة من المهتمين باللغة الإنجليزية وذلك لأهمية اللغة الإنجليزية. وأقصد بهذا التسجيل هذا اللايف الطلاب الذين في مداخل الخدمة، يعني entry universities، ويقصدون الدراسة باللغة الإنجليزية، سواء يعني على مستوى البكالوريوس اللي هو الجراديويت، مستوى الجراديويت ما يسمى الجراديويت، أو البوست جراديويت، أو أحيانا يسمى، يعني هناك تسميات تجدها مختلفة، يعني لا يختلط عليك الأمر. مثلا في بريطانيا يسمون الجراديويت والبوست جراديويت. الجراديويتس لطلاب البكالوريوس، بوست جراديويت لطلاب الماجستير والدكتوراه وهكذا والدبلوم العالي. أما في أمريكا الجراديويتس هم طلاب الدراسة العليا، والبكالوريوس أو البي اس سي هم طلاب لمستويات الجامعية. أقصد يعني بهذا الطلاب حقيقة في الذين يقصدون الدراسة باللغة الإنجليزية، سواء الدراسات العلمية أو الهندسية، علمية عموما يعني كل العلوم، العلوم الطبيعية والصحية والطبية وهكذا، كل أنواع العلوم، وكذلك العلوم الهندسية، يعني حقيقة تخصصي في المجال الهندسي. والاهتمام باللغة الإنجليزية ما أرى لأهميته الآن في العالم كله، أنه أصبح الاهتمام بها على مستوى العالم أكثر بكثير من مثلا الاهتمام بها 10 سنوات أو 20 سنة لوراء. يعني now world is giving more attention to the English language because it's becoming the communication language, international communication language, especially in this era of communication, this era of internet, and this era of science and knowledge. So knowledge أصبحت يعني متاحة أكثر وأكثر باللغة الإنجليزية، خاصة مجالات البحث وهكذا. أيضا في مجالات البيزنس أصبحت اللغة الإنجليزية لغة مهمة جدا. السابق يعني يمكن كما رأينا يعني في التسعينيات وأوائل هذا القرن يعني 21 الاهتمام كان ضعيف بهذه اللغة خاصة في الدول الآسيوية، ولكن الآن أصبح الاهتمام بها عالي جدا. لماذا؟ لأنه أصبحوا يتواصلوا مع العالم في مجال البيزنس، سواء بالتصدير أو بالاستيراد، يعني for export, import. All companies need to know English. At least people who are communicating with the outside world, and sales people and marketing people, this is very important for them. The English language is very, very important for them. يعني we witnessed مثلا in China, يعني I have been to China many times since the 90s. There was you find very few people speaking English that time, but now it is changing a lot. Now China is one of the most country giving attention to the English language. I tell you something, this now the Chinese people, Chinese parents are giving attention to the extent that they are spending a lot of money, a lot of budget, or a big budget to teach their kids English language. They have or take extra job to spend our kids to learn the English language so that they get a good job. أيضا بلد كالهند مثلا India, people also they care too much about teaching their kids English language to get jobs outside India. It's very important. You cannot get a job outside unless you know the English language, especially in the West world. Now in Sudan, we have been actually in the last, let's 10, 20 years, English language, the level of English language in the universities level and the business level is declining. People before, maybe in the 60s up to beginning of 70s, even the high school was in English. Then universities, after the has been Arabanized, converting from teaching sciences and engineering, medicine in Arabic, so become less, people are giving less attention to the English language and less important for them. And this is actually making people or students facing problems when they go abroad to study in English. Exception is some universities, some private universities still, they care too much about the English language, they give attention, and the students, you find them actually very successful when they leave university and to go study abroad. Anyhow, let me give you some tips for improving or developing your English language. I presume you know the basics of English language, starting from the alphabets. Of course, you know the alphabets, you know how to pronounce the alphabets, you know what is vowels, you know what is consonant, you know the 26 alphabets, which are 5 of them are vowel letters, 2 are consonant and vowel, and the rest 19 are consonant letters. And I also assume you know you can make a simple sentence containing what we call SVO, subject, verb, object, SVO. It's a very simple language sentence contain only 3 words. Anyhow, let us have some tips for this, how to improve or develop our English. I have a series of lectures actually for the English, for improving your English, developing your English, but these not including, actually it includes, yes, grammar, it includes vocabulary and so on. But first, let's take some advices or some tips that make us develop our language. For any language actually, or for any science, for any knowledge, the basic thing is you have to be patient. You have to be patient enough to learn the language. Or to learn any science or knowledge, you have to be patient for that. Don't hurry. Don't rush. Try to, when you start studying, you have to know that it's not an easy job to learn a language. It is not easy job. So when you put that challenge, then you have to know that you have to be a little bit patient and you have to withstand the pressure that the language can put of you. And then you have give it enough time. Give it enough time to study. Anyhow, let us say how we can develop our language, our English language. The first thing is, of course, for English you need to write, you need to read, you need to speak, you need to listen to understand the language. Of course, writing no problem, since you know the basics. Reading, not a big problem for you. If you start the alphabets and then you can make simple sentences. But the problem always, which I find very common problem, is how to speak the language. How can we develop speaking? So to develop your speaking, very important, 5 tips that are very important, is to do a lot of listening. You have to do a lot of listening. From listening, actually you will learn pronunciation. You know how to pronounce words, vocabulary, sentences, so on. And you have to listen to YouTube's, episodes, podcast, broadcasting, television, whatever. This is actually available and in abundance in the internet. All you have to do, you do a lot of listening. And please do listen to very simple and very short YouTubes, very short. Don't start with long films. Start with very simple, short YouTubes that can teach you the very basics things that you can pick up the pronunciation of the words and alphabets, vowels and consonants. This is very important. Listen and repeat. Listen and repeat. Listen and repeat. When you listen to a sentence, please repeat it once, twice, 3, 4 times. The more you repeat, and try to change the words in the sentence and then repeat the sentence. Try. This is what they call juggling. So you juggle like this. This is very important. Second tip actually is to how can we automate the language to speak automatically without thinking. This is very important. Of course, you speak your mother language automatically without thinking. But this is a second language for you. How to make it automatically. So this is automatically, then you have to learn the vocabulary. You have to learn a lot of vocabulary. تعابير كثيرة. You have to learn a lot of vocabulary so that you can automatically, without thinking, you just speak and feel comfort with that. Okay? So this also, you can develop it also by listening. A lot of listening, listening vocabulary. Yes, you can write down. You listen and you try to write down, and you start to repeat also. Third tip is how to increase your fluency. You have to be very fluent. You have to be very fluent. So how can we be fluent in English? You have to learn what we call collocations. Collocations are a combination of words that come together. I'll give you an example of this. Like say fast food. Fast food. If you want to speak about food or kinds of food, then you have to learn fast food. This is 2 words, but it is what they call collocations. Make an effort. This is collocation. Online shopping, okay? Electronic shopping. Yeah, so it's a combination of words that you have to memorize. You have to memorize, and then you have to repeat such type of collocations. Such type of collocations, you can learn these vocabularies. What else? As a tip, you can learn. You have to gain then confidence to speak. You are listening, you have to gain confidence. Then when you listen, you repeat, and then you have to gain confidence. You have to how to gain confidence in speaking after learning some collocations. You have to interact in comfort, interact with people. Try to speak to yourself first. Try to speak to your friends. Try to speak to very close people so that you can gain a little bit of confidence. So it's very important to get confidence. Don't get afraid. You have to be to have some courage, and you have to be comfortable. You have to be comfortable in speaking. Don't be nervous. Don't be try to take nervous away, and then you speak in comfort. Don't and start of course slow, and then you develop fast, and you have to link words, not speak like robot, as they say. Okay. Tip number 5: you have to choose the right tool for this to develop this. You have to immerse yourself with videos, podcasts, this kind of things. This kind of things will develop your speaking skills. You have to develop your speaking skills by a lot of listening in postcards. At your comfort, sometimes just open one channel speaking radio and then try to listen to it, and then try to memorize or repeat some words, some vocabulary, some sentences that you feel that you have to repeat it to get your tongue, some to train your tongue to the language. It's a new language for you. So try to concentrate, pronounce in the best way you can do, in the best way. So this will make you comfort, and it will gain some confidence. I hope this will be useful thing for a start for you to develop your language. As we said in the beginning, it is a very important language for knowledge, for researchers, for students, for jobs, any kind of job. My experience, in all kind of jobs now, English language is one of the very important factors that differentiate between people when they go for interviews, applying for a job. Let's say we want an engineer for a job, any kind of engineering, civil, mechanical, textile, whatever. But you will find too many people applying for such a job with the same qualification. But what differentiates between these people is the skills in the English language, whether speaking or writing or reading, whatever it is, because this is a very important language for communication. So please be patient. I repeat again, be patient. Don't rush. Put a small challenge, not a big challenge, that you will improve your language to such a level 1 or level A2, B1, B2, C, and C2, and so on. Don't rush, take it step by step, and then you will find yourself carried on. Don't push yourself too much. You say, I will do 3 hours per day to this language. No, please put a challenge, that small challenge, so that you can gain this challenge and you can execute it, and this will let you gain the confidence. Thank you very much.